jaw work. Come on. Live. Okay, here we go. This is a weird description. Live from Bob Monks's non-performing assets baseball card collection.
Ooh, I like that. I would buy that.
Featuring John Goshnauer, a shortstop who played from 1901 to 1903, who hit 187 with 0 home runs and made 146 errors in 264 games.
146 errors is a lot of errors.
It's an all-new, terrific Tuesday edition of Business Pants, joined by analyst old Matt Moscardi. Woo!
I'm back. We're all back. We're back.
On today's Target Still Hates DEI comic book collection called July 1st, 2025. How much does Matt care about the things we missed when he was gone game? Right? Did I say that right?
What just happened with the end of that there? I don't know.
There was one too many prepositions in that. Someone's going to get fired for too many prepositions. How much does Matt care about the things we missed when he was gone game? You understand? Matt, you were gone. You were gone last week. And as I do every time you're gone, I get all the stuff that we missed and I put it together. I get excited about it, but then I run it by you to see really if it's stupid or not.
So, wait, just before we talk about the sponsor of the show.
Yeah. Where's the sponsorship? I got deleted. I'm going to go look for it.
Can I ask what the rating or score is? Is it how stupid it is from 0 to 10? So 10 is really stupid and I don't care?
This is a binary game. Care, don't care. I don't care.
Oh, I like this even better. I don't have to think at all.
Our show today is being sponsored by FreeFloatAnalytics.com, the only platform measuring board power, connections, and performance for free.
Only free. Board power, connections, performance, all those words are just so delightful.
I consult the platform several times for every show that we create.
That is not a selling point. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying. It's my main source of data. Look, if you happen to be someone who spends a lot of money annually for data, for ESG data, and you don't even really know what it all is or means or how to use it, I would really consider contacting the people at freeflowanalytics.com and maybe buying their data instead. Because not only is it like a extra level of analytics that you're not going to get anywhere else, but the people there can actually help you use it, how to use it. They can walk you through it quarterly. There's all kinds of things we can set up.
Well, we were just talking in pre-production.
It's not just a mess of data. It's not just like a mess, right?
We were talking in pre-production. If you vote a proxy, like everybody likes to talk about shareholder proposals, of which there are like a couple hundred a year at the largest companies in the world, and they're non-binding. Meanwhile, you've got like 80,000 director votes a year, and all that data is on freeflowanalytics.com. They can really help you, like.
Here's my promise.
Like parse it.
Here's my guarantee. If you're coming from a big data provider and you're looking for something a little bit more boutique, a little bit more hands-on, you want actual analytics, right? You want ESG 2.0, not just the old bullshit. I guarantee that the people at freeflowanalytics.com will save you money on your next contract.
I absolutely I've talked to them.
Guarantee it. No matter what,
they will do it.
They will save you money. Actual money, Matt. Money, real money.
Money that you can pay us for this show one day.
Oh, I don't know about that. All right, come on, let's do this. Come on, ready?
All right. There's no music for this. I just want to do it.
Let's start with Elon Musk.
Oh, I already don't care.
And this is just I don't know. Look, I know. Okay, well, I'm going to do it anyway. Elon Musk vows. It's just funny, the whole thing. Elon Musk vows to defeat politicians who back Trump's mega bill if it's the last thing I do, and that he'll form the America Party if Trump's insane spending bill passes. But here's the part I wanted to get to. Here's the Trump's response, which sounds like us basically. It sounds like it could be from our show.
Really? Trump sounds like us?
Elon Musk knew long before he so strongly endorsed me for president that I was strongly against the EV mandate. It is ridiculous and was always a major part of my campaign. Electric cars are fine, but not everyone should be forced to own one. Elon may get more subsidy than any human being in history by far.
That's true.
And without subsidies, Elon would probably have to close up shop and head back home to South Africa. No more rocket launches, satellites, or electric car production, and our country would save a fortune. Perhaps we should have Doge take a hard look at this. Big money to be saved. So he's admitting what we've been saying all along is that Elon himself is basically prospered off of government handouts to all of his maybe successful companies. I don't know if these. I mean, it's still debatable whether any of these companies are actually successful, except for, of course, Tesla's like bizarrely high meme stock share price.
I mean, my head does spin because the South African billionaire immigrant in the United States is starting the America Party to fight against government waste
for his buddy,
spending
against his buddy.
Like
for
that
he got elected
against the guy he got elected, and they're kicking out immigrants like Elon Musk.
Well,
right?
not really like Elon Musk. I'm not the same skin color, but yeah.
No, yeah, but all I'm saying is, you know, like we
don't look
the
at
whole
them.
thing is really, it's like a whirlwind tour. I hope Elon Musk does this, but Elon Musk also said we'd be on Mars, I think 14 minutes from now. And I'm pretty sure he said that we'd have full self-driving cars.
I have a couple things to say about that, Matt. First of all, Peter Thiel said while you were gone that Musk has quietly dropped his ambition to go to Mars in 2024. Like he actually no longer cares about Mars. That's what Peter Thiel says. Hasn't been announced, but
I thought he literally like 4 weeks ago was talking about how because the sun is expanding in 1.1 billion years, it would consume the Earth, and we need to get to Mars.
We got to get on I-95 now. Get on the Mass Pike and hit the gas. Listen, here's what else I love about Elon Musk this past week, Matt, and I hope the board of Tesla's listening. He fired the head of North American and European sales. He's blaming Omead Afshar for the dismal EV sales. Don't you love that he's firing?
It was his fault. yeah, right? It was that guy's fault.
Despite the fact that I walk around and everywhere around me are Teslas with like 17 crazy bumper stickers saying like, I hate Elon, like he's a jerk. I bought this car before I knew. There's even a dude in my neighborhood who's like ripped off the Tesla decals and put Saab decals on. He's so embarrassed because of Elon. Like, let's blame Omead Afshar.
No Omead. Down with Omead.
Down with Omead. Yeah.
That?
Anyway,
I hope this happens, but I don't care because he's such a lie. They're all just liars. It's basically liars fighting with liars. It's hard not. It's hard.
So you don't care. You don't care.
I don't care. That's correct. I don't care.
Moving on, FedEx founder Fred Smith, who we've talked about many, many times on this show, has died at the age of 80.
I don't know how to feel about it. I have no feelings.
Because if you say you don't care,
I don't care about a dead guy.
You're going to look like a horrible human being.
And if I say I do care,
you're going to support.
Then I have to care about a guy who threatened to fight the editors at the New York Times in a parking lot because he didn't like a story.
Yeah.
Like that was Fred Smith. Fred Smith ruled FedEx with an iron fist for decades. He was one of our totalitarian dictator companies.
Yes, he controls 64% of board influence. He's been on that board for over 5 decades.
Yeah. So like he was like a poster child for sort of not good governance in that way. He was the one who we talked about UPS and FedEx and the drivers basically, having to strike and living wages. It's like, that's all Fred Smith. So I can't be happy that I can't say I don't care that he's dead because that's cruel. I also can't say that I care that he's dead because I have no feelings. So what are my options here? I guess I have to choose one.
Yeah, you have to choose what's binary.
Then I'm going to say I care that he's dead because I can leave it up to you to think about the reasons I might care that he's dead.
Oh, interesting. Kind of like when Reagan died. All right, moving on. I have a lot of ISS material every week, but it's not for any purpose other than it just kind of tickles me. Here we go. It's kind of 2 headlines. Leading independent proxy advisory firm ISS supports compelling case. Both of these headlines has the word compelling. Supports compelling case for change to Brookdale Senior Living Board of Directors. Recommends withhold votes on long tenure directors Lee Wielansky and Victoria Freed. Here's what ISS had to say. Given the tenure and positions of Wielansky and Freed, they are arguably the most culpable among incumbent directors. Now, Matt, I only point this out because last year, Wielansky got the support of 99.6% of shareholders, and Freed got the support of 98.8% of shareholders. So I love when this happens. I don't know what tickles me. The same goes for another headline: ISS supports compelling case for change to AstroNova board. Last year, that board got 97% support, despite the fact that ISS is saying this year change at the board level is warranted to improve independence and oversight. What gives? I don't understand. What gives?
Well,
Do you care? Do you care about this?
There's an activist involved, right?
But what happened?
Or is this just in general?
Yes, there's an activist. Yes, but that's not the point. I mean, yes, that's true.
No, the point is they finally looked at who was actually on the board, and then there was first of all,
I want to know. I want to know what they're seeing. I'm fascinated when they suddenly get mad at boards.
I mean, their compelling case is arguably most culpable, right? So.
I do like when they say things like arguably, yeah.
There's already hedges in their compelling case.
Yeah.
And second of all, the only way a director there gets 99.6%.
Yeah, say it right. 99. Because you know what? When I do the reporting on the Proxy Countdown show, I'm always rounding up. You know me. I hate.
You can't round up the 99.
I hate when ESG data providers put out reports and they bring things to the 10th decimal, the 100th decimal. It's like, what are you doing? Like, nobody cares. Just round up or down. So
Your environmental score is a 7.34.
Yeah, stop. So this one, I would actually round up to 100% of shareholder support.
That's right, 100% support. But the only way you get that is with ISS and or Glass
that's my
Lewis.
Point. Of course, that's
saying
the point.
They're fine.
Yes, they're fine.
So they're making a compelling case. Were they arguably not culpable last year?
Yes, that's what they're saying.
That's what they're saying, right?
Yeah, I
care very much about these.
Oh, you do.
I do, because this is like this gets back to what I was saying about shareholder proposals and like free flow analytics data, our sponsors' data, right? This is the only thing that matters. And it only seems to matter when an activist is involved. The only time we ever talk about whether a director is arguably most culpable is when an activist says that person has not been doing their job. Because last year, they probably weren't doing their job last year. It's not 12 months of time. The average director tenure is 7 years. If you are a large cap U.S. director, you are getting a tenure, an aggregate tenure of 14, 15, 16 years across multiple companies.
Yeah.
So what are we really talking about when we're saying 1 year is the only, in the last year, you went from 99.6% support to now you're culpable for the failures of this company? These are long-term strategic decisions that get made. These are people who chose the CEO most of the time.
Here's what's crazy, too, is that I wish ISS... Well, I mean, I don't know that ISS doesn't use the data at freeflowanalytics.com, but I'm inviting them to use it, because here's the crazy part, is that we actually... I should say freeflowanalytics.com actually has 2 directors who controls an aggregate of 60% of influence. That's a majority of the board's influence. That's Frank Bumstead and Lucinda Bayer. Now... The headline says that they want to get rid of Wielansky and Freed because they're long tenured. Frank Bumstead has been on the board since 2006. He is the longest tenured director on the board by 9 years and controls most of the influence. Is 82 years old. So what are we doing, ISS? Why aren't we targeting him? Why aren't you looking at the data? I don't understand this one.
They're not looking at him because that wasn't the person on the proxy card.
Right. That's true. That's true.
That the activists put up there.
That's absolutely true.
They're literally only looking at, instead of looking at every single board every single year and saying, are you doing a good job? Should you be there? Do you represent shareholder interests? They restrict all analysis to the 1 or 2 people identified by an activist only when there's an activist to say they're arguably culpable for performance. And why did you just say that they're arguably most culpable? Out of who? because the other guy's been there for 20 years. He's been there like years longer than everyone. Wouldn't he be more culpable? Like the whole thing. So I care very deeply about these because I find them very aggravating.
Let's stay in the same subject matter.
Good.
Another story you missed. This is from the corpgov.law.harvard blog. What do they call that blog? They call it the
Harvard Corporate Governance
Harvard
blog?
Law School Forum on Corporate Governance. That's the blog. Here's a story based on a report from PricewaterhouseCoopers and the Conference Board. I think we've referenced this report before. This is the one that says that 93% of executives say they want someone on their board replaced.
Yeah, we did. I love this.
But here's something we missed, and this is what they're reporting on this past week. Only 50% of executives have confidence in their board's ability to remove underperforming directors. First of all, I don't know how they make that evaluation that they're underperforming, but set that aside. They ask, what are their challenges in replacing directors? Executives say, half of them say, that individual director assessments are not performed.
Oh, well, there you go. That is challenging.
So they want to get rid. They want to get rid of underperforming directors, but there's not even an assessment in the first place of the directors, and then the directors themselves say it's difficult to remove directors. A third of them say because of the personal relationships between board members.
Yeah, correct.
So they're offended,
honestly,
of hurting each other's feelings, despite the fact that they're making. Sometimes in the cases of people like Robin Denholm, they're making almost like $1 billion. But despite the fact that they're making millions and millions of dollars in equity and they're controlling, Fortune 500 companies, they're worried about each other's feelings?
Look, I know.
What?
I know we are two morons. I know this. Okay.
But really combined, we're probably more like three morons. Let's be fair.
I didn't realize it was.
Yeah, let's be fair. I did the math. It's startling, yeah.
But the reality is, do we need a survey from PwC to tell us the most human thing
we do
on Earth?
Because it quantifies it.
You put a group of 10 people together and you ask them, if you think of any group of 10 or 12 people you've ever had to sit with in a class, on a team, like at a bar, there's always the one person you kind of wish wasn't there.
Yeah.
Like
in every school project, every group project.
100% of the time.
Yeah.
You know exactly who it is. Just think of a group of people you've ever been involved with and think of the person in your head that probably it would have been a little bit better if they weren't there.
Yeah, sometimes just because they smell bad. But usually it's because they're not pulling their load. They're not pulling. They're not doing their share of the work.
And you have a potluck dinner, and they're the one person who was like, "I didn't have anything to bring," and they brought like
Tostitos or something.
They brought like gum and an apple.
Well,
right?
actually, gum I like, but yeah.
But you know what I'm saying. We know that to be true. So then you put 10 or 12 directors in a room, and we think for some reason, because it's capitalism, that they'll all make individually efficient decisions about allocation of capital. We think that there are no personal relationships that matter. This is all about business. It's the exact same thing. Somebody sucks, but the people in that room are all there because they know each other and they don't have a mechanism to boot that person that they know shouldn't be there.
Yeah,
that's what we're saying. We need a survey to tell us that.
Once again, we're learning that there's a crisis in the fact that there are underperforming board members and we don't know how to get rid of them. And we don't know how to evaluate them.
Nice callback to the underperforming assets.
I'm just
Bob
saying
Monk's
non-performing
RIP.
assets. Non-performing assets.
Non-performing assets.
Can I add something here too? One more thing, and this is to the entire anti-ESG crowd out there. This like weird wave of anti-ESG we're in, including all the ESG people who are too afraid to fight back. Here's what executives say they want: they want more board time spent on these two things, these top two things, ESG and talent management. So talent management is ESG. I mean, it's basically the S in ESG. So there you go. The executives themselves want the board to spend more time on ESG in this fake world of anti-ESG political theater. Don't buy the theater. It's just politics. Don't buy it.
Look, I'll make this.
Go ahead.
I'll make this offer right now.
Oh.
Anybody who listens to the show,
Yeah.
or watches it on YouTube or
Why
LinkedIn,
would you watch this? I don't know. Why would you want to look at us?
Because look at it. Look at it. There's a little tree.
I don't even
behind
turn
me
on my
now.
light.
Look
I
at
mean,
this.
why would you want to do this?
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Anybody who watches the show or listens to the show who reaches out to me directly, Matt
Yes.
Muscardi on LinkedIn,
Yeah.
and says, I would like data on this, I will give you a list of non-performing asset directors.
Oh, yeah,
I
we
will
have so
give
much-
you. I
so
will
many.
hand you that list.
So
It
many.
will be an Excel file, a list of names, the companies where they sit, and basic performance indicators that show that they're non-performing assets. And when I say non-performing, I mean I will target directors that have had at least 3 years tenure on at least 2 boards, and they will be global, and they have TSR and earnings below 500. Like they're batting below the average director. Those are
than that, Matt.
non-performing directors. I'll give you that list.
We can even come up with current public directors that you could actually target to ask to join your board based on their knowledge, expertise, based on their
I'm not
performance
gonna- you know
analytics.
what?
I'm just saying.
If you have a follow-up question about knowledge, if you have a follow-up question about connections, I'm happy to talk to you about that. But I will hand you this. I will make the spreadsheet as soon as this show is over, and I will hand it to anybody who asks. That's my offer.
Yeah, it only costs $5 million for that report.
And I do care about this report.
Moving on quickly,
nice.
Texas. I don't know if you saw this one while you were gone. Texas, speaking of political theater, enacts new law. We're talking about ISS before, remember? Texas enacts new law to regulate proxy advisory firms. This bill aims to limit proxy advice based on non-financial factors. There's that word again. They always talk about non-financial factors such as ESG and DEI, and requires proxy advisors to provide a specific financial analysis for any recommendation in opposition to management's position. There you go. Texas
is requiring, if you go against management, which happens about 4% of the time.
Yeah.
If you go against management, you need the proxy advisors need.
Why should the owners of the company? Why do they even need a compelling case? They could vote however the hell they want.
This whole thing is kabuki theater. It's all stupid. Everybody's looking for that. It's like in this country, we're looking for the next George Soros under every rock we can turn, right? Like we're just saying, like, who's the puppet master? What's the deep state? Who's the secret one pulling the strings? Oh, it's ISS now. It was Larry Fink before. Now it's ISS.
But if George Soros controls 8% of a company's voting shares, he's entitled to exercise his vote in either direction. He doesn't have to prove.
Look, the reality is
financial analysis.
25% of every publicly traded company is owned by Vanguard, BlackRock, and State Street. That's who votes. All of those votes go to management. They almost never vote against management. I mean, like, the number of times they vote against management is so minuscule as to be laughable that you need advice or follow up, or there's a crisis of voting against management and ESG, whatever. This whole thing is stupid. It's kabuki theater. And if you want to hear more about it, Ann Lipton and Mike Levin on the Shareholder Primacy podcast, which is produced by Free Float Media, they actually talk about these Texas bills, Delaware statute changes. Go check it out there. I don't care about this.
By the way, ESG is all about long-term risk. So it is a type of financial analysis.
I love when they include G in all of these regulations. They know G is everything that happens at a company. It's like your rights. I lthis that.
On the proxy countdown, we focus a lot on leadership transitions, but I like this one because there was something included in this filing that I don't see very often. But and again, investors, pay attention and vote on things, because
that'd be nice.
Your compensation committees, your nomination committees are making these decisions. Hormel Foods announces elevation of Jeffrey Ettinger to serve as interim CEO. So it looks like they've hired John Gingo to be president, and their former CEO is coming back. Jeffrey Ettinger is basically a placeholder until John Gingo becomes president, which sounds like a bungled succession plan, right? That you have to bring your former CEO back to babysit the new guy for a while, right? I mean, that's a failed succession. So already there's failure. But listen to what this guy is getting. Listen to what the former CEO is getting. He's going to be there for only 15 months. And that 15 months.
Nice deal.
15 months. Not only is he getting, like normal high level of pay, like 1.2 million in base salary and annual short-term target of $2 million. He's also getting a one-time equity grant of $7.2 million. All of it, none of it on performance. It's just for being there.
Oh,
right.
It's a guaranteed $7.5 million at a minimum.
Yes, because 75% of it is stock options. So if the market goes up, just because the market's going up, as it does, as Warren Buffett will tell you, it just goes up anyway. He'll make a crap ton of money. But also built into this, he gets 4 weeks of paid vacation in 2025 and another 6 weeks next year. So he gets 10. So in that 15 months, he's baked into it is 10 weeks of vacation. I never see that. I never see vacation baked in. I've never seen this. I've never seen the vacation baked into the hiring. It's weird. He's 10 weeks out of 15 months.
He's only like 65 years old, isn't he? He's like,
why does he need so much vacation?
What does he got to do? Did he already book the trip to like Majorca or whatever? Like, what's his?
I guess so.
I mean,
from January 1st to October 26th next year, which is the term for his defined period of employment, he's getting 6 weeks of that off. It's just weird. I've never seen that before.
I love that.
This is succession planning failure. This is failure.
I love it. I love it because they tell you in like interviewing for a job 101, you don't go like after the interview and say, oh, by the way, if I get this job, I need to tell you I'm taking 10 weeks of vacation that I've already planned. I've already scheduled it. How stupid
is this, Matt? How about instead of his interim CEO period is due to end October 26th. How about you subtract 10 weeks from that and he leaves sometime in August, right? And you don't make shareholders pay for his vacation. Well, what are you doing? Just kick him out. I mean, what are we doing here?
Just so you know.
Yeah.
Here's a way to think of it. I do care because it's comedy. It's comedy gold. But here's a way to think of it. When you go to Stop and Shop or Kroger's or wherever you get your food, right? When you pick up like a can of Spam or a jar of Skippy, just think about like some percentage of that purchase goes to Jeffrey Ettinger's vacation for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
If you bought it in the next 15 months. Yeah, usually it's like a coupon, like you want a coupon, it's like 5% off and you got to use it in the next like 3 months. Now it's you're paying for Ettinger's vacation if you bought it in the next 15 months. That's a good way to think of it.
Do you care?
I'm going to say, marginally. I marginally care.
Okay, so that's a yes.
Yeah,
I'm rounding up.
I'll give it a yes.
I'm rounding
yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Netflix rejects Jay Hoag's resignation. Remember?
What? Oh, no, I didn't see that coming.
Remember this. 79% of shareholders said no, Matt. 79%. That's one of the largest votes in the history of all reporting, right?
Yeah, 79%. But the quote is really good.
Here's what the company says. Mr. Hoag's continued service as a member of the board is in the best interests of its shareholders. Of the 79% who said no.
Just the 21%.
I got to remind people, this is not the first time they've tried to vote him out. The board is pretending that this is all because he missed attendance. No, this is not the first time they voted him out. They voted him out in the past because he ignored other shareholder votes.
No, well, wait. In the company's defense there, last year he got like 91% support, and this year he missed the attendance. It actually might be the tipping point where for over years, they voted him out before. They've been pissed at him before for a long time. He's not independent, but he's the lead independent director. Everyone's annoyed with him. Last year, it was 91% support because he did some things shareholders asked for 20 years. He finally got around to them. I guess that
I
memo.
think he ignored like 15 majority shareholder proposal votes.
Right, like that. But that memo was somewhere. It was like it got stuffed underneath his in his sock drawer in the back, and he finally found it and was like, "Oh, I should do this."
Yeah,
and then he got
lost in the Squid Game. The Squid Game script, it got lost somewhere.
And then this year, he missed attendance, and everyone was like, "This guy just sucks at his job. He doesn't listen to anything we say, and he doesn't even show up anymore. Like, he just sucks." And Netflix, and let's say who Netflix is, because it's Reed Hastings, like the executive chair of the board, who said he's moving from executive chair to be just chair because the company's going to stop paying him as an executive because we already have literally 2 other executives, co-CEOs on this board, plus Leslie Kilgore,
Reed,
who worked here, plus Reed himself. So a third of the board is insiders.
Yeah, they basically say we don't care.
They're the ones who don't care.
Yeah, we own.
Why
this
can you not vote out Reed Hastings?
Why isn't Texas mad about? Why isn't Texas mad about this? This is what they should be regulating.
I don't understand anything anymore. Yeah. But this was so obviously coming.
Do you care?
That I don't care. Okay. It was so obvious that it was coming.
Here we go. Let's just keep this moving. Starbucks. Starbucks is like my favorite corporate governance company. I'm not going to go over all the reasons. Go download every single show we've ever made, and you'll hear my thoughts of why I love Starbucks.
Good advice.
I'm not saying that I think that Starbucks does corporate governance right or correctly. I'm just saying that for comedic value, for drama, I love Starbucks. I love everything. Right down to the fact that they tell you what the director's favorite drinks are. I love that. I mean,
that's the best.
It's a gold mine. Starbucks elects 2 new directors, Dambisa Moyo and Marissa Meyer. Yes, Marissa Meyer.
Marissa Meyer?
Yeah, to its board of directors. Now, I just pulled this because, well, first of all, of course, Marissa Meyer caught my eye because whenever the former CEO of Yahoo, of all things, Yahoo is like one of the biggest disasters of big tech history. But whenever she kind of resurfaces, I really enjoy it. And it's perfect for Starbucks that she's now joining their board because it adds to my understanding of them as the greatest corporate governance drama story ever. But here, I just wanted to tell you the backgrounds of Dambisa Moyo and Meyer. Dambisa Moyo, she is on the boards of Chevron. No, I think it's a she. Am I wrong about that? You can look it up while I talk. Look it up while I talk. Moyo is on the boards of Chevron and Condé Nast, and previously served on the boards of SABMiller, Barclays Bank, 3M,
you're right, it is a she.
And Seagate Technologies. I mean, think about all those boards. Meyer herself has also been on the board of Yahoo. She's on the board of Walmart. She's on the board of AT&T, Hilton Hotels. She used to be on the board of Nextdoor. I mean, Matt, these 2 directors have basically served on every board in the Fortune 500. I mean, what?
Well, that is the point here, right? Like, if I look up these people, right? Like,
every board,
they are 100% connected to
everything,
everyone on this board.
I mean, Dambisa Moyo might be in my backyard if I looked. That she's everywhere.
There's no way these people are not already connected with directors on the Starbucks board. That there's zero. It's a 0% chance. So what do? We just hire. This is the same. This is the story of every Fortune 500, like large cap, U.S. in particular, but also global company board. It's like Marissa Meyer has made a career out of failing up from Yahoo to. She's been on.
God love her.
Millions of dollars on every board she's been on.
I mean,
right?
I mean, and these are big boards: Walmart, AT&T, and Hilton Hotels. I mean, that's impressive.
Yeah. Notice that like 2 of them are basically run by families, right? That's like true. Hilton and Walmart are run by families.
Starbucks is still run by Howard Schultz.
So, this is I don't care. This is the same thing.
Yeah, I knew you wouldn't care.
The same thing I always see. Yeah.
All right, but how about this one? There is a little bit of a hook to this one, but I'm just going to read the headline and give you a little information. The headline says the SEC bans CEOs from becoming chairs without a 3-year break. So they've issued a new directive saying that a CEO has to have a mandatory 3-year cooling off period before they can transition to chair. So you can't.
Wow.
Right? That's something that we basically been asking for, which is, why are CEOs chairs? What are we doing here? But I will add, well, tell me first, do you care about that?
This sounds like it's not possible.
Well, do you care about that? Does that sound cool? Like a good corporate governance initiative?
It sounds like, first of all, 3 years is not long enough. It should be 100 years.
But still, it's pretty bold.
It's a great
bold initiative.
So, yeah,
right?
I would say yes, I care about that.
Okay, what if I told you that this is actually the SEC from Nigeria? How about the fact that Nigeria... Why does Nigeria care more about things than Texas? What's the difference between Nigeria and Texas? What's going on here?
Is this the Nigerian regulator?
Yeah, they have their own SEC. This is happening in Nigeria right now.
I was going to say this is not possible. It's
When I tagged
this
this article, I was like, something fishy's going on. Is this the Onion? Of course, I had to...
Yeah,
I had to figure out it was Nigeria, but I love the difference between Nigeria and Texas. Texas is basically like, let's just treat the whole world as a joke. Nothing really matters anymore. It's all stupid. And Nigeria is like, we should pay attention to stuff.
I mean, it is the most populous, country in Africa.
Oh, and it's growing at an astronomical rate. Yeah.
Do you remember vaguely when Jack Dorsey thought it was a good idea to move to Africa because it was growing so much?
All the white pontificators in the U.S. were like, "Whoa, what are we doing here?"
All the activists and the Elliott managements and the whoever,
Scott Galloway, right?
Scott Galloway, they all stepped in and they're
like,
said, "We want to see, we want a CEO focus full time on this company. This is bullshit. You know who we're going to sell this to? Another CEO who has 5 jobs and doesn't pay attention to any of them."
Maybe he's from the right part of Africa. He's from the right or white. Is it right or white? I don't know what the right word is.
He literally sold it to an African.
Yeah,
that's remember that. Yeah, that's still a thing. I like the story though. It's just sad.
You do care. Okay, moving on. We'll try to get out of here. Only 5 more stories. Zuckerberg. It's the first time we're talking about Zuck today. Zuckerberg's employees have a wild new nickname for him. That's the headline. Do you want to guess? Really? Do you want to guess what the nickname is? Play a little game.
Is it middle school man flake Zuck?
Basically, yes. Actually, basically, yes. And the background to this story is, I'm going to repeat his interview with Joe Rogan earlier this year, where he thinks that U.S. business culture needs to, quote, regrow its manhood, end quote.
Oh, yeah.
What does that even mean? That they lost their penis? Is that what it means? Is that what it means by regrowing your manhood? Is that a penis regrowth? What are they talking?
No, they have to go to the gym and blast their lats.
And Zuck also said that American capitalism is culturally neutered. What are we just talking about here? That there are too many women in the world? Is that what he's saying? Women have cut off the penis.
Black people. I don't think that's women. I think that's black people.
And also the background of the story too. Another headline is that Mark Zuckerberg announces the creation of Meta Super Intelligence Labs.
Mark doesn't work there though.
So this is the guy.
Other people work there.
This is the guy who thinks that he controls the intelligence of humankind. Mark Zuckerberg, who dropped out of college.
No, he experiments on the intelligence of humankind.
This idiot.
It's a lab.
Here's a new nickname for him, and I think you're basically right. They're calling him MAGA Mark.
Yeah, that's
right. That's basically it.
This
is the guy. This is the guy in control of super intelligence. What a great oxymoron going on there.
Look,
right? I mean, this is the greatest oxymoron of the modern day world.
I
drop out Mark Zuckerberg is controlling super intelligence for all.
I've been trying to go to the gym more myself, right? Like to regrow my manhood.
Yeah.
And so
far,
do
they have that machine there at your gym? Because they don't have that up here.
It's right next to the leg press. I've tried it. It's hard. So I appreciate his difficulty.
Did
he ever have manhood?
This is the guy who started a company just to put up pictures of people in a way to chat your friends. And now he wants to Meta Super Intelligence Lab.
Back up.
Why have we let this happen? Is it because he has complete voting power at his company and the board is a joke and no one can influence him? Why are we letting this guy do this?
The first viral company he created was to rate the hotness of girls.
How do we get from that? How do we get from that to this? How does this happen?
But look, rating the hotness of girls to culturally neutered companies need to regrow their manhood is actually a straight line. That one's not that shocking to me.
I guess you're right.
Like dropping out of college with Peter Thiel sitting on your shoulder saying you're the greatest thing, you're the greatest gift to technology, stealing ideas from other people and making them big, it's stomping on your competition.
This has to stop.
Zuckerberg is a middle school child. It is a little ironic that regrowing your manhood means what? Growing your first mustache? Like, because Zuck, you never actually achieved manhood. Manhood is a totally different thing than Mark Zuckerberg. I don't. I'm gonna say MAGA Mark is not a surprising nickname to me.
Do you care about this?
I don't care. I don't care.
I want to say this to anyone who has a college degree: delete WhatsApp, delete Instagram, delete Facebook. Just get over it. Just move on. Can we be done with this empire?
You're
the ones
time.
propping them up. I mean, really,
it's time. You get off of X while you're at it. Just, you know what? Go outside and hang out with your friends. Send them, a text message directly.
It's kind of humid out, though.
Oh, okay.
All right. Speaking of Peter Thielian types and Zuckerberg types, this story really is all about Bill Ackman. That's why I picked the story.
I already hate it.
I'm not trying to play politics here. When you were gone, Matt, in New York City, they held a primary for the Democratic primary for the mayoral position, New York City mayor. Right? I'm sure you read about that. Zoran Mamdani beating Cuomo. What's his name? Andrew Cuomo. Cuomo. So I don't know if this is, you know what? I don't even know if this is a political statement or not, because Cuomo is sleazy. So it's like, I don't know if it's just because Cuomo was there that this guy won, but that's not the point of this. This is not a politics show. Here's why I picked this article, because I love this little man flake moment here. Zoran Mamdani's victory in New York City mayoral primary leaves Wall Street alarmed and depressed.
Oh, really? Depressed?
And the guy they're referring to who's depressed is Bill Ackman. Bill Ackman's depressed.
Is he the only guy?
And then this other headline, Bill Ackman pledges to bankroll any mayoral candidate capable of defeating Zoran Mamdani. How about the state of our democracy that a depressed Bill Ackman is going to bankroll candidates? What the hell is happening in our democracy, Matt? I don't know. What the hell's going on?
I mean,
He's depressed. He's depressed.
I mean, Cuomo was already way like 5x as much funding as Mamdani had, right?
Not to mention that he suffered a massive political crisis a few years ago. Yeah, go ahead.
Bill, the problem.
Bill's depressed.
The problem isn't that Cuomo lost. It isn't a bankroll problem. It is that people fucking hate you billionaires coming in and stepping all over them,
I mean,
telling us what we should like. Mamdani is the anger antidote to Bill Ackman, right? It's not about bankroll.
Bill must know that a large percentage of New York City can no longer afford to basically pay rent, ride the subway, or buy groceries.
Bill,
he must be aware of this,
Texas.
right?
Well, move to Texas.
The greatest threat coming out of these stories is that they're threatening to move to Florida. It's like, do they think the residents of like Queens and Brooklyn and the Bronx are going to care if a couple of billionaires leave for Florida? This is what they're threatening.
We have two Americas right now. One is inhabited by 100 people who have billions of dollars who think they could buy every single thing. They think everything is a trade, everything is transactional. I can just buy it in some way, shape, or form. I can buy influence, I can whatever. And then everybody else. And eventually everybody else gets wise to the fact that, now I don't know anything about I didn't follow this primary at all. I don't live in New York City. I don't really care. But Mamdani, from what I know, is a democratic socialist. He's in the Bernie Sanders world of sort of
AOC, Bernie,
like liberal progressive populism, right? The reason why that is growing in interest to a lot of people is because we're tired of fucking like billionaires on the far right telling us that everything we do is wrong. Bill Ackman, you already got the first black female president of Harvard kicked out of Harvard.
Yeah, that was just last year. Yeah,
you already
Claudine
got
Gay.
Trump elected.
Yep.
You got, and now you're depressed.
He's depressed.
You're sad. You're real sad because this one didn't go your way, and you're gonna throw a tantrum. And I'm gonna primary. Like, I'm gonna bankroll everybody. I'm gonna screw with mom. Like, what are you doing? Stop it.
I love too that they paint this guy Zoran Mamdani as some like alien, some like villain from Mars. You know who this guy really is? Just like Reed Hastings, we were just talking about Reed Hastings from Netflix. He's just a guy who went to Bowdoin College. He's just a guy who went to a nice college in Maine. Like, he's not some crazy guy from Jupiter. Okay, people, get over it.
You know what else he is? He's the mayor of New York City. He is not the president of the United States.
Well, not yet.
He's not a senator. He's just
not.
A mayor.
Because like, this is how this baby world works, Matt, is that Cuomo is threatening to keep running as an independent. So
you're all such babies. Yeah. Get out of the fucking way and let somebody else have a chance.
All right. Do you care about this headline?
I could care less about what Bill Ackman says.
All right. This one got a lot of press while you're gone. This is out of Salesforce. AI is doing up to 50% of the work. 50% of the work at Salesforce, according to CEO Mark Benioff. You care about that? 50% of the work.
I don't care about Salesforce.
Can they do 50% of the work here? Can they do more sales? What can they do here?
Well, yeah, my understanding of Salesforce is it just enables people to sell more shit, right? Like it's an online platform to track like clients.
What does this mean,
like,
though? Is this meaningful?
Consulting and whatever. I don't like sales. Like, we're bad at it, right? Like, so I don't know that. What do I care? AI is doing 50% of the work. Like, hey, look, if you got laid off at Salesforce, I'm sad for you. I know it was a good place to work.
At Salesforce right now, you got to be frightened.
Like, I'm sure, like, that's a scary thing, and people. But you devoted your career to making sure that people could sell more shit to other people, right? Like, I don't know that I care that much about it. It's not like, so I don't care. Move on. Travis
Kalanick. We talk about him a lot. Kalanick,
yeah.
He's back, Matt. They all come back. All the fail-ups come back.
I already don't like it.
Uber. The place that he got removed from. Remember, he got ousted in a very famous ousting.
I remember
in fact,
that, yeah.
So famous they made a TV show about it. Uber in talks with its founder, Travis Kalanick, to fund self-driving car deal. That's from the New York Times. They want to help him buy the U.S. subsidiary of Chinese self-driving car company Pony.ai. So Uber is back being buddies with Travis. You care about this?
Yeah, but you know what? Like, the moment we're in is everybody who grabbed a woman, punched a dude, like defrauded their investors, kicked someone in the shins. You know, every white male who like sneezed in the buffet tray is now getting a job back. So like, this is neither is it surprising, nor is it one of those things where anyone's even going to look up. Like, no one's surprised by this. This is the moment of white petty manflakes taking back their stupid throne. I don't know. It's like I'm past this. I hate all of it, and I don't want to hear about it. I don't care. Move on.
Tyson workers, Tyson Foods. We talk about them a lot. Notably, this year we've talked about how the one of the Tyson food heirs. What's his name? John H. Tyson, I think, or John R. Tyson.
John R. One of the Tysons, yeah.
He became CFO magically after magically being the chief sustainability officer. Suddenly he was the CFO. Then he got fired because he got arrested. Every third Tuesday he was getting arrested for something. So he got fired as CFO. And now he's back on the board, of course, talking about failing upwards. The headline is that Tyson workers authorized strike at a Texas plant over CEO pay and labor practices. This is Al Brito. He's the president of Local 577. He said that the strike is in part a response to this Tyson CEO's pay, saying that last year Tyson's CEO made 525 times that of the median worker. That's
nice use of the CEO pay ratio.
Right? He's actually using the proxy statement there. So would you care about this?
No.
Why don't you care about this?
It's fine.
Come on, no one ever uses. Even ISS doesn't use proxy data. They just say things like arguably compelling, like case. Like, they don't even talk about anything that's real. Like, at least this guy's opening the proxy and he's like, I don't like this. I'm going to make a decision based on this performance.
Look, it's nice.
Come on. Give him a break.
But first of all, it's one plant. Where's the rest
Teamsters
of the union?
Yeah,
Where's the rest of the Teamsters?
Well, I don't know.
Like,
how about that? It's Texas. It's Texas.
the Teamsters actually, like the union is much larger. It's not like Tyson only is the only company the Teamsters are a part of.
Right.
The CEO pay ratio at other companies
Yes, true.
are significantly higher
True.
in some cases than Tyson. This is also a family-owned company. What I like about this is investors have no say and investors won't divest, right?
Exactly. Right.
So I do like that workers have to recognize that the only way for that to change is if they take it into their own hands, which means sacrificing themselves, right? Like,
Matt, what is the average percentage of investors who support directors?
96%.
98% of this local 577, this union supported this strike. 98%. So there you go, tit for tat.
So yeah,
right.
Head on. Yeah, good.
There you go.
But
You
I
still
don't
don't care?
know. It's
Come on. No.
All right. I care a little.
No, I can't. I'm not going to sway you.
I care a little.
And finally, one more headline for what is this game called? It's called the How Much Does Matt Care About the Things We Missed When He Was Gone game.
Yeah, it's real compelling.
Where'd you go, by the way? I kept calling you and you weren't answering your phone.
I was in Provincetown, Massachusetts.
Is that true?
The greatest town on earth. I've been in a lot of places, and I love Provincetown.
Something tells me that the regulators at Texas would not like that town.
It is a fabulous town, and I do mean fabulous in every way.
Something tells me that Target CEO Brian Cornell might be uncomfortable with that town.
I think he took a call from somebody in Provincetown, and they told him to F off.
He's like, stop breathing, and he hung up. All right. Let's end the show on this headline. I mean, just because it made me laugh. And I'm going to ask you if you care. And let's just pretend you own this car. All right? Let's play a hypothetical game. Let's pretend you own this. But again, this just made me chuckle because I just love the headline. Right to the point. Ford recalls over 130,000 Lincoln Aviators. How about the fact that there are really 130,000 Lincoln Aviators? I've never heard of this. What is that?
Who's buying that?
Ford recalls over 130,000 Lincoln Aviators due to risk of parts detaching while driving. That's my favorite kind of recall. Parts detaching while driving.
I thought Elon Musk and the Cybertruck had the corner on the parts detaching while driving.
Side
market.
Panels falling off.
Yeah, I thought that was like rust and panels falling off.
I love this. Parts detaching while driving.
I'm a little sad that Ford has entered the parts detaching while driving race, right? Yeah. Like, I thought it was just a Musk thing.
Sounds very Boeing-esque. Yeah.
I don't care in reality, but I do like the idea of parts detaching while driving.
That is
pretty funny.
It sounds like the Tesla mission.
Wait, did I win? Did I win this week?
Yes, absolutely. A big win for Matt Moscardi.
Yes.
How about this? At SpaceX, there was a crane. Remember, I think while you were gone, maybe right before you left, one of their spaceships blew up again.
Yeah,
right?
I saw the blow up.
Before it even got in the air, it blew up. And they had a crane. They brought in a crane to like clean up, fix the stuff, and that collapsed. Even that collapsed. That's what's going on at Tesla's companies.
That's some good.
Yeah,
that worked out really well.
While driving.
That's Hazelnut Rallis. I am your analyst, Matt Moscardi. We are Free Float. We are back through Thursday of this week. July 4th is a holiday here, so we won't be here on Friday. But next week, we're back to normal. Also, no shareholder primacy this week, but go check out last week's episode with Andrew Drosty. They've had a bunch of really great episodes in the past couple of weeks. People love it. We get all sorts of mail about it. If you've got questions, you actually can send them questions in the mail.
Send them questions.
Email address, and it's shareholderprimacy@freefloat.llc. You can also check out Proxy Countdown. Well, the proxy season is nearing an end, so we've been told. So we're going to sum up all the things that happened this year, and we won't spend all of our time on shareholder proposals so you can get real information. Until then, goodbye.